What is up, America? Welcome to episode 2 of Tuesday Night Football. That is Kane Nicholson. My name is Richard Mignette. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Jam-packed week. We just had the trade deadline, and I don't know if you could tell, it's Halloween.
Yes, it is Halloween. I am dressed up as a, a tourist. A
Tourist,
tourist.
yeah,
Yeah, a
tourist,
tourist. A
yeah, yeah.
tourist. Yeah, hopefully the
And
sunscreen.
I am Buddy
No.
DL. Yes, 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 yes.
That's great. Yeah, we got a spooky one in store for you guys. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of crazy stuff happening around the
Yep,
league. We
yep.
have some trade drama. We had some really close matchups yesterday. A lot to
Uh-huh.
go on. But I'll let Richard kind of take us into this.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and start real quick with the games of the week. I think the number one game of the week goes to the Battle of Temple Terrace. And of course, that was won by Jake. Jake, congratulations. My prediction of it being a decimal game was that close. It was very, very close. This ended up being a 132.98 to 134.28 victory for Jake. That was a thrilling game. Devontae Adams, all we have to say is, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You predicted it to be to the decimal point. I remember
Yeah,
you saying
I
that
had
and
some,
put it.
some great predictions that we'll
You
get to
did.
later, but
You
that
did.
was close.
Yeah, you had some really good predictions. I also predicted Jake winning this one. I did think it was going to be close as well. I didn't do any exact predictions, but I mean, watching that last night, Sam Laporta with the drop to win Nikki the game. I mean, it couldn't be more intense.
Yeah.
They couldn't write a
No,
movie better than what
Nikki
happened.
lost. Nikki lost. Lose Nikki
I
today.
know, I know. I'm saying Sam Laporta, he dropped a catch to
That could
win
have
Nikki
won
the
it. Yeah,
game.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Which I know Nick was watching that. There's no way he was happy.
Yeah.
So tough loss for Nick.
Sorry, one second here.
No
Um,
worries. Yeah. Well, we'll go deep dive into all the games while Richard takes care of some side business. I think we have like a
sorry.
sponsorship
Yeah,
deal
yeah.
going.
Yeah, so that text was actually from Waffle House. Shout out to Waffle House,
Oh,
the sponsor of this podcast. Again, not literally, but shout out to Waffle House. That is where our good friend Dan will be. He'll be eating a lot of waffles. We will help him. We love him. Shout out to Waffle House. You guys are great. Next game, we'll just get into it, rip the band-aid off. I lost to Jared in the battle of first place. I lost 139 and 134. All I needed was 8 points from Jacoby Myers. I just needed 4 catches for like 46 yards. Didn't happen, courtesy of Jimmy Garoppolo. Um, that stunk. That game really stunk. This was the first game that I had Jamar Chase and Stephon Diggs both play. Jamar Chase, great game, 25 points. But I think the difference in this one was definitely Hawkinson and as well as Jacoby Myers putting up 2.9.
yeah. Jacoby Myers doing that. Um, Gambling is not legal in Florida, but if it were, I would have probably placed a bet that Jacoby Myers would have done
All right,
well
one
that
second here.
game. Um, but Jacoby Myers didn't even show up to that game. Richard is now off the screen. But Jacoby Myers did not do well that game, and that's ultimately what lost it for Richard. It was a really close battle. I actually picked Jared to win that game. Richard didn't pick because that was his game.
Yep.
And Jared won it in a close fashion. Jared stays ahead of the league. We tied with Jake. Jared is becoming the villain of the league, I would say. Bit of a villain. Bit of a villain.
Yeah, sorry about that. This costume is very tight. It's very hot, so I turn the fan on.
Okay.
Yeah, so this game to me it hurt, but that's just the way that the cookie crumbles in fantasy football. Obviously, I would have loved to have Jacoby Myers get me the 8 points. Sleeper had me at 77% chance to win at one point. That did not happen, obviously. So it is what it is. 5-3. Big matchup next week versus Lee, I believe, one of my best friends. Sorry, Lee, I'm going to have to destroy you. Okay, next game we'll get into you. You destroyed Grant, 142 to 128.
Yeah. I thought finally, besides CJ Stroud, I thought my team had a good showing. AJ Brown is really solidifying himself as an
He's
elite wide receiver.
He's an absolute freak. Yep.
He is without a doubt right now a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL. I think Tyreek Hill.
You can make a serious argument that he's probably second.
Yeah, behind Tyreek, I'd put Brown there. I mean, Diggs close, Jamar Chase close, but AJ Brown is balling right now. So he's been a stud. Jordan Addison went off for me. I actually picked up Aubrey, not to be confused with Drake, the kicker. He got me 13. That was a nice little boost right there. Kincaid, great tight end pickup. I've been lacking that position all year. So all around, good win for my team. Grant's team played pretty well too. Herbert, Eckler, the Chargers doing pretty well. Just didn't get good performances from a few of his guys. Kendrick Bourne out for the season. That hurts.
That's tough.
Yep. That hurts bad. He doesn't have Najee on his team anymore. He traded him away for James Cook. So, but thought I had a pretty good showing. Pretty happy with it. I'll take the dub.
Yeah. AJ Brown is a freak. We all know that. Eckler had a great game. Grant did not play bad, but I think it's the little things. Dalton Kincaid, that was a great pickup by you. 17 bomb. And he did that versus the Bucs defense, which is unfortunate, but that's a double. It's like an emotional hedge for you. The Bucs are getting scored on. However, I have that guy in fantasy, so Diggs really didn't do that for me, but it is what it is. But that was a really good victory for you. We are both 5-3, so we could be. I feel like our record could just like replicate each other for the whole week of this podcast. So that's something to look forward to. All right, the elite team, Captain Jamaica, 191.86 defeats JJ, who had 130.86. Unfortunately, this game was decided before even the Monday Night Football game. Mike had a great week. JJ did not have a bad week at all. 130. That's a great number. So it's just unfortunate. Mike 3-0 since he said he was elite.
Mike is 3-0 since he said he was elite. Mike could be elite. I don't know. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here. He did just drop 190 points. I am curious, trading away CeeDee Lamb, trading away, I believe he traded away Mixon as well, how that's going to affect his team down the road.
Yeah, we'll go over the trades after.
We'll touch on that. We'll touch on that in a second.
Yeah. Big
but all
trades.
around solid showing. I'm starting to regret trading him Gibbs a little bit right now. I'm not going to lie. It didn't feel good to see him do that. We'll see how it happens when Monty comes back. But yeah, I mean, his team dropped 191 points. That might be the most the team's dropped this season. Somebody fact check me.
I think if we have our producer. Yeah, producer. Fact check that. But I think Jared also had a ton of points as well. But producer, we'll get our producer on that. Yeah. We totally have a producer.
Yeah. But yeah, good win for Mike. I'm pretty sure Richard and I both picked JJ in this one. But Mike continues to defy all odds.
That was a great victory. 191. I mean, you can't sniff at that. That's an insane score. And then our last game of the week, our two beloved owners team, Lee, with a 147.56 victory over the struggle bus, 141.02. I think we both picked Lee. Actually, did you pick Dan?
You picked Dan. You picked Dan.
I picked Dan? Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Sorry. I picked Dan. I'm sorry about that, Lee. I love you. Once again, no matter what he does, I mean, 141 is not even the bad score, but Dan just cannot crack the W.
Yeah. Dan having an all-time bad season. I don't know. I know this is my first time doing a league with Dan. I think we might have had one for the groomsmen actually, but I don't remember him doing this bad. This is definitely an all-timer bad season. 0-8. Can't buy a win.
I think I won that one.
You did. I'm pretty sure you played me in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I won, right?
Yeah, you won. But Dan, man, having a tough season. Had a pretty good week. He plays other teams. He might have gotten the dub, but
yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else you can really say. His team's struggling. D-Hop tried his best, but
I think he actually had the most points in a loss, which is just a stat that is just, I mean, listen, there's no moral victories, but if there was a moral victory, it would be that stat for sure. So, great week of games. We'll go quickly here. We'll look at the standings. Like we said, first place, Jared Crowley, 6-2, great victory over me. Moving into second place, jumping up one spot. Sorry. We have Jake Schaefer at 6-2 as well. I go down to the third spot at 5-3. You jump 2 spots, 5-3 to the fourth spot. Then we have Mike also jumping 2 spots. He is 4-4. Nikki went down 2 spots, 4-4 to the 6th spot. Seventh, we have JJ also at 4-4. So there's a gridlock there between 3 teams at 4-4. Lee jumps up a spot at 3-5. Grant goes down a spot 3-5. He has unfortunately dropped 2 in a row, and Dan is on a game losing streak. Yeah. So, that was loud. So those are the standings. It's gonna get dicey here. This is when it gets gritty. This is when teams start to really separate themselves. We got that 3 teams at 4-4. That's gonna break up here soon. So it's gonna be a very interesting week this week, and it's gonna be so interesting because there was a lot of trades today.
Yeah, there was a lot of trades. The trade that was talked about in the league chat that I actually brought up a poll, got a little bit of heat from a unnamed owner about trading setting back the trade deadline, which we'll worry about next year.
That was unpopular. Yep.
Yeah, it was unpopular. Just wanted to bring it up, but it was Cooper Kupp and Pollard. Mike received Cooper Kupp and Pollard. Dan received CeeDee Lamb and Mixon. What are your thoughts?
I said in the chat that I thought the only reason I said in the chat was I thought it was fishy. Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing.
Listen, it's fishy. When a player gets traded, why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing, bro. What are you talking about?
When a player gets traded 3 times like that, in the team, it's fishy. But like when I look at that trade, honestly, I traded Pollard earlier this year, and he's not having the Tony Pollard year that we all expected him to. I've been on a very good streak of trading guys right before it goes downhill. Tony Pollard, I think, had 6.5 points when the Cowboys put up 43 points. That is not a good sign. CeeDee Lamb, all-time performance, 44. Mike selling him, I guess, high. He gets Cooper Kupp. Matthew Stafford just broke his thumb for the 10th time in his career. Joe Mixon had a good game. I don't really believe that's Joe Mixon the rest of the way. I think the Bengals offense is starting to get going here. I think T. Higgins, I think Lee still has him. We told him to keep him. I think T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are about to have huge games coming up here. So when I look at that trade, it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of two names going back and forth. Again, the fishy part, Cooper Kupp, this is the 3rd time that he's been traded between these guys. I don't know why. But listen, we live in a democracy. This is a legal trade. It's a valid trade. There's nothing you can say about it. You can have a personal opinion about it, but it's legal, and we got to respect that.
Yeah. Oh, I just coughed directly into the mic. I'm so sorry if that was loud. I would like to subpoena Dan and Mike's credit card transactions just to see what's going on there. A little fishy. But again, legally, nothing we can really do. Nothing we can do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of agree with you. Lamb kind of sold him high, but at the same time, he's been really solid. He's still CeeDee Lamb, solid player.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Mixon, I was gonna say I'm actually more bullish on Mixon than you were kind of letting off. I think if that team gets to the goal line, he can potentially score a lot of more TDs. He's a pretty middle of the pack, like top 12 running back when he's fully, kind of a go. So, Dan needs wins now. Kupp's not going to probably be a factor for a few weeks. So honestly, initially I was a little taken back by the names, but it wasn't that bad of a trade. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, definitely. And then we had one trade earlier in the week. James Cook for Najee Harris. I will be honest, I didn't understand this one.
Yeah. The silver lining was the next day, the Bills signed Leonard Fournette. So I was like, okay, well, like
maybe there's this little thing called insider trading going on.
Could be.
Maybe Jake said, wait a minute, I know something about this deal. I got connections in Buffalo. I gotta trade this guy.
Could be. I looked at Jake's team. On Pokemon, they say gotta catch them all. He's got all the Steelers. He's got
all the Steelers. Yep.
He's got Jaylen Warren. He's got Pickens. He's got Deontay Johnson. He's got Freiermuth. The only person he's missing is Pickens.
He is the steel curtain. He is a terrible tower. He is Ben Roethlisberger. This team is Steeler Nation big time in Tampa. But listen, Najee, has he had the career that everyone thought he was going to have? No. Is Najee a great running back? Absolutely not. But the Steelers offense has a lot of potential to get into the red zone. And then from there, you know, Pickett, little dump downs here and there. So Najee isn't, I mean, Najee is still Najee. He's not like a second string. Jalen Warren, he has Jalen Warren, so he could just do the double stack, triple stack, quadruple, five stack with the Steelers. So it's not a horrible trade. Just it was something that I think this might have been one of those trades that Jake forgot was in his inbox and just kind of got accepted.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it sounds like that's been a common theme a couple of times with Jake.
yeah. So I mean,
I think
it
you
is.
might need to start doing a little house cleaning there. Make sure
Yeah,
the trades get
it
withdrawn.
is what it is. So that's it's not the it's not the actual end of the world.
Yeah. Well, real quick, I wanted to dive in. So obviously we got a lot going on in the league. We talked a little bit about the matchups. I don't think we dove too much into a couple of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the Mike matchup. Let's talk about JJ's team real quick. What do we
Yep.
think about JJ's team?
Let's go Jay's team real quick. Excuse me. Right off the bat, I love Tua. I wish I had Tua. Tua Tagovailoa. He is a machine, and he's got Waddle, so that's a great stack. DeAndre Swift, a machine. Josh Jacobs starting to pick it up big time. These 4-4 teams are nothing to sniff at. I think these 4-4 teams are really good. They're just one game behind us. Like the league is really compacted. Minus our brother Dan, we love him. If JJ got more from Dan Waller, who is out, it looks like. So I don't know what tight end he's going to pick up there, but he can get some production from that tight end spot. Like I said, I think we touched on it last week. This team could be dangerous. All these 4-4 teams could be dangerous. He's got Jefferson coming back soon. Let's not forget that either. So there are reinforcements coming, and that wide receiver room is very good with Cooper and Waddle already. So he did have the stable running backs early. I think he took a little hit with that. But Meerkats are a good team.
Yeah, agreed. I think JJ's got a really solid squad. I mean, any team with CMC is just automatically at an advantage. And you got Tua, Josh Jacobs, which Josh Jacobs has maintained a positive attitude somehow in this Raiders complete collapse of a team situation going on. He hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
So positivity is always a good thing. That's something we preach on this podcast. But
one of the
Pacheco,
pillars.
he's going to bounce back. DeAndre Swift, he'll bounce back. The bench probably could have a couple extra guys. The depth's not like the best, but he does have Justin Jefferson on IR. So I like where the Meerkats are at too. So I think we got a really, really close playoff race here going.
It's gonna be so the playoffs started today. The buys would go to Jared and Jake, obviously. You'd be playing Mike, and I would be playing Nikki. Those are great matchups. Those are great matchups. Revenge game for Jahmyr Gibbs versus you. I play Nikki. Big time game. The projections on these things are all out of whack because they don't know who's bye week, who's in, who's out, yada yada yada. So there's nothing really to look at the projections. But Jake in the two hole is awesome. So a lot of good football left.
A lot of football left. A lot of teams firing. The scores last week, I don't think I've ever been in a league where I saw each team do so freaking well. Yep. Not to give out participation trophies here, but kudos to everybody. That was a solid week.
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect. Do you want to jump into the TV schedule then, looking into next
week? Yeah. Let's go ahead and get to the TV schedule. Right off the bat, I think the best matchup this week is it's just so spread out. I'm gonna go with JJ versus Jake. Sorry, I got allergies. This costume was in the closet. A little dusty, dust bunny. Got the allergies going. I took my Flonase right here. Not doing much. Best matchup that's going to go to Sunday Night Football. Jake versus JJ. Now the projections right now have a 2-point victory for Jake, 119 to 117. Like I said, going to be a close game. JJ's going to pick up a tight end. Those projections might change. I think that is by far the best matchup of the week. So we're going to put them at the Sunday night spot. What are your thoughts?
We're referring to the JJ Jake game?
Correct.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That's going to be a battle for Jake to maintain first place. JJ to really solidify his spot in the playoff race. It'll be a good game.
What was that?
Bruh, something's in my throat.
we
Something's in my
both just got
yeah,
allergies today.
yeah,
It's kind of
something's in my
gross.
throat. I can't
It's
even
one of the
breathe.
this is
This
one of the
freaking
grossest
sunscreen is killing me.
podcasts of all time. All right. The 2 spot, a lot of I'm staring down Grant, Jared, and you and Nikki. Because you guys have the better record, I'm going you and Nikki, and we're going to put you guys at Monday Night Football. Right now, Nikki's only projecting 92. I'm sure it's going to change. Maybe he has guys on the bye. Let's take a look real quick.
He's got no quarterback.
Yeah, he got no quarterback. He's got no tight end.
No
So that's a
tight end.
problem for sure. He's got Kareem Hunt on his bench, so that will get figured out. But yeah, that's going to be a good matchup regardless because I know that the quarterback's spot's going to get filled. This could be one of those games. Again, we'll do the recap Thursday, the preview Thursday night. But this could be one of those games that both teams end up 5-4. This could be a game that you take a step forward, go 6-3. But right off the bat, I think that's a great matchup. Put you guys right in there in the Monday night spot. And then from there, we are going to do a special edition Germany game, 9:30 a.m. Sunday morning. There's the Dolphins and the Chiefs playing Germany. We are going to be playing in Germany. Get your waffles out. Okay, shout out to Waffle House. That's a great plug right there. Not really a sponsor for real, but maybe one day. I'm gonna put me and Lee in the Germany spot. Lee, 3-5, needs some reinforcements this week. He's got only projected. Sorry, the door is open. He's only projected 84.
He doesn't have a quarterback.
Doesn't have a quarterback.
Doesn't
Again,
have a tight end.
Okay, yeah. So same problem as Nikki. There's gonna be some competition for the quarterbacks and tight ends in this league. Gonna be a good game. I'll save a lot for Thursday. I think I'm gonna win. But we're gonna do that one, Germany 9:30. All right, and then we are going to put Thursday night football. It's going to be Grant versus Jared. Jared, best team in the league. Obviously, he has a 67% chance to win right now. 67. That's a big number. Listen, Grant, he's a Charger and Lions guy. I think the Lions are on the bye, so it's going to be an uphill battle for him. He's got a lot of Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he's got a couple other receivers, too, on that team. He's got David Montgomery, who's dealing with some hurt ribs. Obviously pray for him. Best wishes to him. We're going to put them at Thursday Night Football. Kirk Herbstreit, Al Michaels, absolute legend. A lot of people are saying Al Michaels lost his fastball. They don't know ball. Al Michaels, all right, let that guy do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to call the game whispering, I don't care. I'm going to listen, all right? ASMR, no big deal. So I'm going to put that one on Thursday night slot. This is going to be a great week. A lot of great matchups. This could be the week. Wouldn't that be something if Mike put up 191 and then lost to Dan? I don't think it's going to happen, but that's chaos. We always root for chaos.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see something kind of going on in the background. They've been trading a lot.
Yeah.
Dan's like, look, Mike, I've done you so many solids, man. Just give me a win.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mike, I'm grilling some steaks tonight. Why don't you come over here and why don't you put Jahmyr Gibbs on your bench, man?
Yeah, exactly. So that could be a little potential little collusion watch there. But no, yeah, I think I mean, if Dan could, I mean, his team's kind of turning a corner. I mean, he might pull that one out, but I'm not gonna do my official pick yet.
Yeah, we'll see that for Thursday, but that's gonna be a great game. But Mike was not lying when he said he was elite. He is an elite team, and don't let the record fool you. He has a ton of points for. He is a very, very good team. So we have it takes a lot to call your shot when you're 1-3. So respect him for that. What else we got here? Our favorite segment, Bucks bonus.
Oh gosh.
Oh man, I'll let you start on this one. I might get long-winded.
For all my Spanish speakers out there, we can call this Bucks basura. That means trash.
Trash. They're not trash. They're not trash though.
They're not trash.
But the outcome Thursday night was trash. Unfortunately, we wanted to win. We did.
How do you say great in Spanish?
Bravo.
Bravo. They ain't bravo.
Grandioso.
They ain't grandioso. They ain't
Two Spanish
bravo.
guys who can't speak Spanish.
No, but we look the part.
No say.
Some would say we look other things, but anyways, Bucks. Yeah, that game. I mean, score wise, you're like, oh, the Bucks were in that game.
Yeah.
For the majority of the game.
Yep.
The Bucks really weren't in that game for the majority of the game. I mean, our defense, I think, played pretty well considering you're playing a pretty top tier offense in the Bills. Dalton Kincaid obviously had a really good game on the Bills side, which
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure we've been struggling against tight ends all season. So I don't really know what that's about.
Yeah.
Bucks made no moves, no, zero, nada moves today at the trade deadline. We waived Pat O'Connor, which doesn't.
Hope we get him on the practice squad. I like Kyle Connor a lot. That was sad to see.
Yeah. He's been a buck. I'm pretty sure he's been a buck for years.
I think since 2019, I want to say maybe 18, but definitely since 19.
Okay. Yeah. So been on the Bucks for a minute. But yeah, I mean, offensively, we're just really struggling. Mike Evans is like the most just I don't understand him. He's an elite wide receiver, but like he'll just drop the ball at a moment's notice randomly.
That's your namesake.
Yeah, literally. Mike Evans, we were neighbors at Miguel's one time, and I didn't
Neighbors
say
in
hi
real
to
life too.
We were actually he rented it in my neighborhood. Still has no idea who I am, unfortunately. But anyways, yeah. So
Maybe that'll change one day.
hey, maybe he'll be on this pod one day. Who knows?
That would be crazy.
That would be, but coughing now. Bottom line, Bucks, they're not too good. I told Richard before we started this pod, I don't really have much to say about this. Offensive line, pretty bad. Running game actually got a little bit better. We were doing little what is it called when you
Mix and match? Thunder and lightning?
Check downs to
Check-down
Rashad White
screens.
a lot, and they were working pretty well. Chris Godwin got in the end zone, Mike Evans got in the end zone, so obviously those are good things, but we just don't get it going like consistently throughout the game. It's just so up and down. Todd Bowles, just his play calling is so bland, and it's just not fun to watch, man. I'll let you sound off.
Yeah, listen, in today's world, it's a lot easier just to absolutely bash the team than it is to, just kind of deal with it. So I'm going to take the high road just because, clicks nowadays say, get this guy fired. Yeah, all that BS. Was what we saw Thursday night the best version of the Bucks? Absolutely not. The last 3 games been the best version of the Bucks? No. I think the bye week came in. We touched on this last week. I think the bye week came at a really bad time for us last 3 weeks ago. We are just coming off a huge divisional victory versus New Orleans. Bye week, we lose all the momentum. Then creamsicle right after. That's a lot of energy put towards that game, and sometimes maybe that takes your mind off of the actual game. So we have Houston this week. We are at Houston, and this I was telling my dad that last week, like the Bills game isn't like this. That wasn't a season defining game. The Bills are a very good team, regardless of what people say. For some reason, the narrative around the Bills is that they're not good. They're good. They're not champions, but they're good. They've been a very good team for like 5 years now. Josh Allen's a very good quarterback. Diggs, they have a great defense. They just traded for Rasul Douglas today. They just got even better on defense. That's not like a make or break game. However, Houston, who just is coming off a loss to Carolina, who was 0-7 or 0-6, whatever they were, this is a must-win game. This is a game that you win if you want to be a playoff team, if you want to play into January. You beat Houston. And Houston's not a bad football team. They got some young guys. They got C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, Dameon Pierce, Nate Dell on defense. They got their coach. I'm blanking on his name. D'Amico Ryans, great defensive mind. Played in Houston for a long time. But this is a game that if you are a serious contender and you want to compete for the division and you want to win a wild card game, you beat Houston in Houston. Okay, especially coming off a Carolina loss. And it's not like you guys are. It's not like the Bucks are coming off a 4-game winning streak, and this is a trap game. This is not a trap game at all. This is a game that you got to have. You got to win this game if you want to win the division and you want to go far for your overall record. We go 4-4, and I think we have at Indianapolis. No, at San Francisco after that. That's gonna be a tough game. Oh, we have the Titans. Okay, we have the Titans at home. That's another game you got to have. So let's say hypothetically, we win both those games. We're 5-4. We're coming off a 2-game win streak going to San Francisco. Okay, San Fran hasn't looked great the last 3 games. They're vulnerable. They just traded for Chase Young. That's a great addition, but it's a great name on paper. Is it going to translate to the defense? You got to have momentum going those games. We had no momentum going to San Fran last year. Who knows if we came off a victory or what, but we got spanked. 35-7, I think it was. Horrible. The game was over in the first quarter. So,
yeah.
Every week, Matt, listen, we're not going to look ahead. This week it's about Houston. But these are the games that if you want to be a serious contender in the National Football League, you take care of these games. We've lost 3 in a row. 2 of those were really good teams with the Lions and the Bills. The Falcons game was winnable, and we lost it. They gave us opportunity after opportunity to win. We didn't do it. Whatever. Baker's been playing well enough. Our offensive line's got to step up. Our defense has to step up, and we got to beat these guys.
Yeah,
That's my motivational speech to the Bucs, but I can only sit here and cheer. I don't want to bash on them because it's easy to bash, but I want these guys to win. I want them to win bad.
it's also promising if we're being more positive here. I like your
Yeah, we got to be
vibes.
positive. We got to be. There's enough hate out there. Let's be positive.
I really like the vibes, and honestly, like we've held some really good teams to limited points. I mean, granted, like not limited, but nobody
Yeah.
like went off on us. Eagles 25,
No, we
Lions
didn't, yeah.
20, Bills
Yeah.
24.
On paper, the defense is playing great. We're the number 1 red zone defense.
Yeah.
Jeez, excuse me.
And we have a nice schedule in front of us outside of 49ers who haven't been as dominant in recent
Yes,
weeks.
we talked about this with Nikki last in our chat, and JJ. We can win the next 4 or 5. We can beat Houston. We can beat Tennessee. We could drop one in San Francisco. We can beat Colts, and then we can what was it, Atlanta after that,
and then Panthers, and then Atlanta,
and then Panthers and Atlanta. Guaranteed that we can win 4 of those 5.
and then Packers, Jaguars, Saints, Panthers. Our schedule is
our schedule. Everyone keeps talking about how our schedule is so hard to end the season. The Falcons is so soft. That's not the case. Okay, you see San Francisco. That's 1 game, and who's to say we don't go into San Francisco and beat them? Who's to say that? Brock Purdy hasn't looked the same. Yeah, they're getting a lot of names, but you know what? I remember the 2011 Eagles. They had a ton of names. The Dream Team. They weren't that good. Listen, I love John Lynch. Great GM over there. Kyle Shanahan, great offensive mind. But that stuff's got to translate onto the field. So I'm not, Thursday night was disappointing. Long bye, mini bye, long week, rest and recover. Let's go to Houston. Let's get a win in Texas. Let's get the hell out of there. Let's come back home versus Tennessee. They're a team that's, the Titans, we could get the Titans at a really good time. I'm not sure who the Titans play this week. But if the Titans win this week,
Steelers Thursday night.
Okay, so all right, that's a lot of time for them to rest and recover as well. Let's say the Titans get this win versus the Steelers. Everyone's gonna be singing the Titans' praises. The newcomers are coming. Will Levis, yada yada yada. We could beat them at home. Then you go to San Fran with some momentum. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean the chip on the shoulder is important. It really is. I mean, Baker plays best when he's under pressure. Will Levis right now riding on a freaking high horse. Just had
Baker's from Texas as well. A little homecoming game.
Wow. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with all that. At the end of the day, we're 3-4. We're not out of it by any means. If you would have told us before the season we were in 3-4, I don't think a single person would have been surprised. I think honestly, you'd be like, okay, that's not terrible.
If you told me we were gonna be 3-4 after 7, I'd be like, you know what, competitive.
Yeah.
You know what I always tell people? Better than 1-6, better than 1-7. I mean, it is what it is. We're 3-4. We're still competing for the NFC South. You win the division, you get a home playoff game. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Yeah, very competitive. Not competitive in that sense, but very winnable division. It's the season's not over by any means. It just hurts to see your team lose like that. We lost 3 in a row. We've lost 3 in a row. So that's never good. But up and up. We'll see.
I think that's all we got for today, fellas. Thank you guys for watching. Happy Halloween. Stay safe tonight. Wear a costume. Never too old to wear a costume. You want to wear it the whole night, but never too old to wear a costume. Don't be that guy dressed in all black like a weirdo.
Mhm.
I'm too old for this. Whatever, weirdo. Wear a costume. Have fun. Eat some candy. Enjoy the night. We'll see you guys Thursday. We'll get our preview going probably as Thursday Night Football starting or right before. We'll have a good show. We'll recap and we'll preview the games for the rest of the week. So thank you guys for watching Tuesday Night Football. My name is Richard Mignette.
My name is Kay Nicholson.
All right. Thank you guys. Peace.
We'll catch you later. Have a happy Halloween.